It's Embert. He's a little old man, he has a story to tell and an opinion on everything. It's Embert. It's Embert.
Hello, everyone. It's Embert. How are you today? I don't know why I asked that because you can't answer back. But maybe at your end, you're saying, I'm good, Embert. Anyhow, today I want to talk about the Twitters. So, Embert is not a big social media guy. My grandson handles all of that. I know I have accounts, the It's Embert accounts. I'm on Facebook and the Twitters, and of course the YouTube and all the different podcasts and video platforms. But today we're going to talk about Elon Musk. Mr. Musk is the one that bought Twitters for $44 billion. Now, some people say that's not very much money. The only people that would say that is anyone except for Elon Musk, because he's the only one that has that kind of money. So, like, Mr. President Trump is a billionaire, but he is supposed to be worth like 10 billion. And when you compare it to Mr. Musk, how much he has, it makes Donald Trump look poor, because Elon Musk is the top most richest person in the world, in the whole world. So Mr. Trump is not, but he's rich too. Embert would be happy with $1 billion. Embert would be happy with $1 million. That said, you can donate to us, I think. I don't know if that's on the website yet. I'd have to ask my grandson. But, if there's a will, there's a way, right? That's what they say. Anyhow, so what I know about Twitters is that it has been a very shaky company for over 2 years. And speaking of President Trump, that's where their downfall really started snowballing. First, they were canceling people and deleting them and suspending them and banning them and hiding their posts if they didn't like them. But they left President Trump alone. But then, as the election got closer, their Jack Doorstop, he went psycho. And he just started trying to block everybody, block Trump. And he did. And Twitter lost billions of dollars in value, or millions or something, quickly. Now, my grandson still does not have his Twitters anymore. He got rid of it and he doesn't have it back. The only reason Embert has one is because people expect it when you have a show like what Embert has, that you have what they call social media presence. I'm saying presence, I'm saying it wrong, but where you're visible on socials. So we're not on everything, but we're on the Twitters and the Facebook and things, because those are the most ones people expect to see us on. We won't get one of those TikToks accounts because honestly, and I've reviewed this with my grandson, TikToks is Chinese devil. And that's nothing against Chinese people, but China. Or as President Trump would say, China. So we don't get a TikTok account, and we don't want you to have one either. Now, we might see things on the TikToks that people put on the YouTubes or on the TVs, but sometimes they share them on the Twitters too. But we will not have a TikTok. We will not be on the TikToks. We just aren't going to do it. Oh, sorry. I had too many jelly beans today. Ever didn't have any jelly beans on Easter. And then my grandson, I was telling him, I think it was on Saturday. Yes, it was on Saturday evening. We were talking, and I said, Ever didn't get any jelly beans? He said, oh, Granddad, I get you some jelly beans from Amazon. I said, oh, I don't want Amazon to make my jelly beans. He says, no, Granddad, these will be Brock's. So he got Brock's jelly beans. He says it cost $18. I said, I didn't need that many jelly beans. Well, we got 2 huge bags of jelly beans. So Embert stacks on them here and there. I got to watch my sugars. So, I can only have a few here and there. In fact, I was chewing on some right before the camera turned on. And I guess there was too much air in it. So that's why Embert made a little burp. So I apologize for that. Anyhow, this Elon Musk, a lot of people, the crazies, basically, are like, oh, he's not going to do the free speech. And then other people, I saw a news story where people can make the comments on the Facebook, and I was reading the comments, and you could tell the difference between the crazies and the saints. The crazies were like, you don't understand. This is a private business. They don't have any obligation to do free speech. Elon Musk is lying to you. No, he's not. So the sensibles, I think that's how we're going to have to call this country now. You got the crazies and you got the sensibles. So the crazies said that. The sensibles were coming back and saying it doesn't have anything to do with it being a private company or a public company or with government restrictions or not. It has to do with common sense freedom of speech. And Mr. Musk, Elon, he's also the one that does the Teslas. Now, he has common sense. And I'll give you an example of common sense that Mr. Musk has. With all the gas prices going insane crazy, this is like, you have to remember, Embert remembers gasoline being 13 cents a gallon at one time. It's almost $5. And wherever you are, sometimes 7 or 8. I think that 8 is the highest I've seen it on the TVs. Anyhow, Mr. Musk, who owns Tesla, the electric car company, which I'm sorry, but Embert will never be able to afford a Tesla, and I don't really even like them. But I like Mr. Musk. So anyhow, what he said is, we need to resume the drillings and oils and gas productions in the United States. Now, this is the guy that stands to be hurt by that. And yeah, he's the richest guy in the world, but he didn't get that way, being stupid and saying dumb things. It doesn't mean he is perfect. He's not. Whatever. I don't know anything bad, but whatever. Anyhow, he said that. Nobody else was saying it, but Mr. Musk said, we need to drill, basically. We need to make our own gas and oil, like when President Trump was in office. Okay, now, what does that mean? It means that if Mr. Musk says he is taking over Twitter, which he is, he's taking over Twitter and going to bring back free speech, he doesn't have to do it. That's what the crazies don't realize. He doesn't have to do it. He is choosing to do it. And that's his choice as a businessman to do that. He can say, I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to only let Republicans on there. I'm going to buy it, and I'm only going to let people that like electric vehicles on it. He can't do that. The point is, that's not what he's going to do. And all the naysayers or the crazies out there say, oh, yes, he's going to do that. You'll see. No. Embert will bet his head that that will not happen. And when I say that, I mean my grandson can chop my head right on the show and leave my bleeding, decaying body on for you to see. Of course I kid, because, we're not going to do that. And we wouldn't have to. That's how sure I am that Mr. Musk is telling the truth about what he's going to do. Now, like him or hate him, it doesn't really matter. If you don't want to use the Twitters, don't. Now, I asked my grandson, I said, what you going to do? And he says, well, Granddad, I might get the Twitters again. Now, here's the catch. It's not really a catch, but we learned this morning it's going to take about 6 months before Mr. Musk can actually take control of the company. Like, it's kind of like he owns it on paper, or, like when you buy a house and you put what's that called? Put it in a bid. A bid? Yeah. You put a bid or make an offer on a house. It's not your house yet, but there's a transition period where it's like it is your house. There's an agreement that said it is going to be your house. You just got to sign all the papers. Well, he's got to sign all the papers. And Twitter is a big company, probably way inflated with people it doesn't even need. And a lot of those people will lose their jobs, as they should, because they were censoring and doing bad things that goes against what Mr. Musk wants the company to be like. So they will be fired. He will either bring in new people, or if he has enough existing normal people, then he will keep them. And he may not need as many people. Embert doesn't run a Twitters, but if I did, I don't think I would need such a big staff. You got to have, anyhow, I don't want to get into all that, but it's going to take about 6 months. So Embert is noticing something. You know what? I'm going to save that for a different video. What I noticed. I know it sounds mysterious, right? Like Embert's got a secret. No, I don't. I want to make sure before I say what I want to say, I got something to back it up. I want to watch for a few days and see. I'll give you a hint. Facebooks, YouTubes, the Googles, all the other companies that like to censor. Embert's noticing something in just one day. And I want to see if I'm right. And I think in a video soon, not today, I'm going to throw it out there and we're going to see if Embert's right. And if I'm right, it just goes to show, old people, we know things. We don't have to understand all the technology today. Anyhow, I believe that Mr. Monks is going to run Twitter the way it should be, by which I mean free speech is different than moderated content. If you moderate content, okay, common sense would say, if I tell you to go blank, blank, blank yourself, is that violating your free speech? No, it's not. You can do that. Did you also know that you can scream fire in a movie theater if there's no fire? You can do that. People always say you can't do that. It's not restricted speech. Now, there could be consequences for doing that when there's not really a fire, and there will be. But the point is, you can say whatever you want in this country, no matter who says otherwise. But let's say instead, I have to say, I don't have the COVID, but when you cough that much, sometimes you're not going to feel very good. And I felt very lightheaded for a moment, but I'm coming back around. Okay, so I apologize for coughing. I got jelly juice in my throat, and it got stuck somewhere along the pathway to downwards. Anyhow, you can tell my voice sounds different, can't you? Anyhow, there, that sounds better. Now, what was I talking about? Oh, so about free speech. So if instead of saying blank, blank, blank you, if someone said that to me, that's not nice, but okay. Now, if instead they say, I'm going to come to your house and rip your blank head off. Well, even without that word, is that free speech? Yes, it is. Is it appropriate speech for a platform? No. No. Here's what you probably will see Mr. Monks do. Instead of, you might see the sentence with some stars through it, because you can do that on your phone now. You can put stars. You can make it where it hides the bad words. If it's threatening, bullying, things like that, there's already laws about that. So basically what it boils down to is if your words on Twitters are against the law, well, they're going to be removed. You're going to get deleted or suspended or disciplined or maybe sued by the Twitters under Mr. Monks. But as far as Mr. Monks says, I'm going to vote for President Trump in 2024. Well, okay, well, first of all, it's his company. He can say that. So let's say Amber says that. But then let's say my grandson says, no, Granddad, I'm going to vote for a man who sees ghosts and tries to shake their hand. Okay. Now, if Mr. Monks disagrees with that, he's not going to delete you or block you or suspend you or anything like that. He wants both sides of the argument. What you kids have to learn today, and you adults that claim to be adults that are really the mentality of a small child. Everett is one of the people that understands what free speech means. And basically what it also means is both sides of a story. Right now, the way that the Twitters works and all the other ones, is they don't like your opinion, they get rid of you. Well, you know who did that? Adolf Hitler. So they have behaved like that. And Mr. Monk said, no more. I'm buying a company and I'm taking control of it. All I'm also going to say is, with this new thing going on, I think that Americans are about to get full free speech rights back on all the different platforms. And I believe that that has already started. We'll see. But just to understand, there is a difference between exercising your free speech rights and breaking the law. And if you break the law, you got to deal with it. So if you get deleted from new Twitters by Mr. Monks, it's because you did something to break the law. And he could go further with that, but he decides not to. Oh, you know what? I just realized, I hope this has been recording. Where is my microphone? Where is my microphone? I don't know where my microphone is. Is this it? No? Oh, hell. Oh, I'm going to be in so much trouble. Oh, I hope it recorded everything. I found it. Oh. The floor. I don't know if it picked up anything I said. Oh, that would be terrible to have to start over. Well, I'm going to be safe and end this now because I might have to do it again. I hear myself, so I don't know if you did. Now, if you're hearing me, it's a lot louder. Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay, well, that's about all I had to say anyway. So, bye.
It's Embert. He's a little old man. He has a story to tell and an opinion on everything.